When I open the door to this room, the first thing I feel isn't sound. It's a pressure, as if the air here is heavier than anywhere else. It's thick, sticky, like an invisible fog that permeates thoughts before they can even be formulated. I call this place the noise room, and anyone who has ever tried to hide from their own thoughts ends up here. Even if they think they just wanted a little distraction. I step inside. The floor echoes softly. Strange, because usually sound is instantly lost here. But today, the room seems to react to my presence. It knows I haven't come to dissolve in the noise, but to tell about it. Figures appear in the darkness. There are so many people here that the room is no longer enough for them. They stand, sit, lie, and walk in circles as if trying to find a way out that has long been overgrown by the same voices that lured them in. And I watch everyone. This is my role, my silence amidst their endless hum. The noise here doesn't scream. It whispers, and that only makes it more frightening. Closer to the entrance, I see a boy, about 15 years old. His face is illuminated by the cold flashes of the screen. He scrolls through his feed so quickly, as if afraid that if he lingers even for a second, he'll see himself. The real him, the tired one. He tries to keep up with those who have never lived his life, who don't know his school, his loneliness, his attempts to fit in where he's not welcome. But he believes that if he watches long enough, he'll become someone different, someone better, someone more real. But I know, the longer he stands here, the further he moves away from what matters most, who he could be. The noise whispers to him. One more video, the last one, I promise. But noise always lies. A little further away is a girl, about 20 years old, maybe a little older. Her eyes show traces of fatigue, hidden beneath the perfect filters she chooses every day. She has hundreds of followers, thousands of likes, but she is unhappier than anyone because every like isn't support. It's payment for her mask. She has long forgotten what her face looks like without filters. And not because she's embarrassed by it, but because the room has convinced her. If she shows her true self, the world will turn its back. The noise whispers the same thing to her. You have to be perfect. Look, others are better. Work on yourself. And she works until she's exhausted, until the moment when her life no longer belongs to her. It has become content. A little further away stands a man, grown up, successful, respectable. At least that's how he looks in the dark. But I see beyond that. He's not looking for entertainment. He's looking for confirmation of his own worth. Every hour he updates the news, comments, statistics. His success is measured in numbers that no one really sees. He fears one thing, silence. Because in the silence, he hears a voice he can't drown out. You haven't done enough. You're not successful enough. You must work harder, faster, stronger. And the noise helps him escape that voice. But in running, he's running into nowhere. I move on. The room grows with me, expanding as if the space here were infinite. And the further I go, the more I understand. There is no floor, no ceiling, no walls. There are only people, each holding their own piece of noise, a screen, thoughts, expectations, fears. The room hasn't walled them in. They came voluntarily. Some sit in the corner, surrounded by sounds, videos, music. Their world is other people's stories, other people's emotions, other people's tragedies, which they relive again and again as if they were their own. But when I get closer, I see emptiness. They experience everything that's foreign only because they've long forgotten that they have feelings of their own. A person is especially vulnerable when they no longer understand that their emotions belong to them and not to an imposed environment. The noise whispers to them, "Don't think about yourself. Look at others." And they listen. But there are others, those who sit quietly in the darkness, motionless. I don't see their faces right away, only when my eyes adjust to the dim light. These people don't scroll through their feeds. They don't listen to music. They don't search for news. They just sit, because the noise has long since settled in them. They no longer need their phone. The noise lives in their heads, repeating the same thing. Nobody needs you. Your life is passing you by. You're late. It wasn't the room that locked them in. It was they who locked the door from the inside. I stop and look at them for a long moment, because I know it's the hardest for them to get out. Those still scrolling through their feeds are still alive. You can tug them, push them, distract them. But those who have fallen silent, they're the deepest of all. I sit down next to one of these people. His eyes are dull, but when I speak, he hears. "You could go out." He answers slowly. "What's there?" "There's silence." I say. He shudders. Silence is the most terrifying thing for him. I move on, knowing some will leave, some will stay, but each of them is now in the hands of the same enemy. Invisible, quiet, self-assured. Noise. But the problem isn't that noise exists. The problem is that people have forgotten what they themselves sound like. A door appears in the back of the room. It's small, barely noticeable, as if drawn in chalk. Not a single person notices it, because the door only responds to those seeking a way out, and there are almost no such people here. I approach and place my palm on the cold surface, and the door swings open. Behind the door is no light, no music, no hope. Just silence. Real, sharp, frightening. The silence in which a person hears himself for the first time. And most people can't stand it. I return to the room. It's become louder than before. The noise grows. Every year, it consumes more and more people, grinding their inner world into dust, turning thoughts into flashes, emotions into reactions, life into numbers. I want to say one sentence to everyone here. You're not wasting time. You're losing yourself. But only those who can hear me can hear me. None of them understands the most terrible thing. The noise doesn't make them suffer. It does something else. It makes them forget that they suffer. That's why it's so dangerous. It's not an enemy. It's a cure. An empty, sweet, quick cure that makes you feel worse, but which you want again and again. I know when they leave here, if they ever do, they'll say they just sat for 5 minutes. But I see time differently in this room. Here, a minute equals an hour, and an hour equals a lifetime. While a person stares at a screen, the screen stares back at them, and the noise becomes their voice. But the voice can be brought back if you take the risk. At the far end of the room, I see the one worth coming for today. A young man. He holds his phone, but his fingers don't move. He's at a breaking point, not yet lost, but no longer free. He's searching for something without knowing what. He noticed me. "What's that?" he asks, looking around. "This is where you spend most of your life," I answer. He's silent, because for the first time he sees the room as it really is. Is there a way out? I turn toward the door into the silence. There is, but not everyone goes there. Why? Because it's too quiet, and the silence brings your thoughts back. He sighs. The noise whispers to him. Don't listen to it. Another video, but he takes a step toward me. The first step, and the first step is always the most important. I leave, leaving the door slightly ajar, so that anyone who looks around can see it. The noise won't disappear, it will only get louder. But a person can become quieter and learn to hear themselves. And that is a force that is stronger than any feed, any screen, any world created by someone else.